Today I'm going to be asking you some personal questions. And as you can see, I'm holding the mic again today, which means we'll be doing a lot of ear to ear, and hopefully me facing it away from the window. The window will help with some of that traffic noise, help mitigate some of the traffic noise. If you are awake enough to be staring at your phone or hey, scrolling through the comments, hey, I see you scrolling through the comments, then feel free to record your answers in the comments or just close your eyes, listen, and answer in your head. Okay, and as you guys know, I love to yap, so I will probably be answering some of these questions myself. Keep things interesting, engaging, conversational, as we do on this channel. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin. Okay, this first one's kind of goofy. If you were a letter of the alphabet, what would you be? Like, is there a letter that you just like identify with a little bit, or like kind of just based on vibes? What letter would you be? Okay, I'm trying to think of what my answer to this question would be, and honestly, I don't know. I like the letter C a lot, but I don't think that fits my personality. I don't know, guys. If I was a letter, what would I be? Alright, next. How many close friends would you say you have? Your inner circle. How many close friends? Now, similar to the first question, if you were a color, what would you be? Okay. Now, follow-up question to that. Is the color that you just said, or that you just chose, is that your favorite color? Or maybe your mind had a different reason as to why you fit that color. See, as you can probably tell, my favorite color is green. Do I have a green personality though? I don't know. The thing is I feel like I have a pretty orange personality, but I just don't like the color orange. So I'm inclined to say green. I'm not sure. This next one is for the folks out there watching who have parents. Let's go. Are you more similar to your mother or your father in personality? Okay. So if you had to say a percentage of personality, how much percent would you say you're similar to your mother versus your father? I have fuzzies from the mic stuck on my nail. Okay, and follow-up question, because I love to do those. Are you more like your mother or your father in appearance? Okay. Interesting. Okay, next question. What is the last book that you read? In full. Okay, you had to have finished this book. However, I will say, audiobooks, good. You can say an audiobook if you would like. What's the last book? Okay. Next. Do you have any reoccurring dreams? Okay. And do you believe that there is meaning to be found in dreams? Sweet dreams. Okay, interesting. I don't think that there's any like spiritual meaning to dreams, but obviously dreams have some sort of link to our subconscious, so I think it's interesting to reflect on your dreams, but I don't read too much into it. Okay, hi. I repositioned us. We are further back, because the neighbors decided to mow their freaking lawn I film, the universe has it out for me, you guys. They don't want us to succeed, but we will. But we will. I do it for you. Okay. Next question. If you're addicted to anything, what is it? Like, is there anything you're most addicted to in your life? Mm-hmm. Interesting, yeah. For me, it's probably my phone and my little drinkies. My little drinkies, I gotta have like a coffee or energy drink like every day. Eek. Yeah. But, you know, what can you do? Alright. Do you think that your taste in music is predictable based on your personality? Like, if someone were to look at your playlists after getting to know you a little bit, would they be like, I wouldn't have guessed that about you? Or would they be like, that checks out? I feel like for me, it's pretty predictable. Yeah, I'm pretty predictable in terms of my music taste. Okay. Do you remember what color your walls were? In your childhood bedroom? I moved a couple times, but I know for a fact in one of my houses, my bedroom walls were like a super light pink. And then when I was really young, one of my houses, I don't remember what color the walls were, but my mother painted a little fairy tale mural on my wall that I remember a little bit because she fancied herself an artist back in the day. And yeah, it was cute, but I don't really remember what color the walls themselves were. Okay. Oh, did you ever have a themed room as a child? I guess I kind of just answered that for myself because clearly I had like a princess room for a couple of years there. But did you ever have a themed room? Maybe it was like flowers, superheroes, race cars, something like that. Okay, interesting. What? This is kind of a weird one that I don't even know how I would answer. What has been your favorite age so far? Like, what was your favorite age that you have experienced in your life? Give you a little bit to think about that. Because I don't know the answer to it. Maybe like 15 or something like that, which is probably not a lot of people's answer. A lot of people just hated being a teenager through and through, but or maybe even 18. 18 was a good age for me. For those of you who have graduated high school, what was your favorite grade of high school? Okay. I mentioned this in the last video, but I think sophomore year was my favorite. I think I would have said senior year if it wasn't for the pandemic, because I barely even went to school. I was like online. Okay. What is something that you know or care enough about that you could give like a whole TED talk on it? Like you think you could educate someone on this topic? On what? What is, and you don't have to really buy into this concept really to answer this question, but what is your love language? Now, the love languages, I hope I can remember them off the top of my head, but it's like physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, gift giving. I think that's it. Okay. And if you've taken the Myers-Briggs type indicator, that's the personality test that gives you like the 4 letters that are your personality. If you've taken that, what is your Myers-Briggs type? I have taken it multiple times, and it switches between I and E, INFP, ENFP, because when I look at the introverted versus extroverted scale, it's always like 2% between, like, 48 and, you know what I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. So I don't know, I really do not know if I am an introvert or an extrovert, not gonna lie. Do you have any, like, invention ideas? Something that you've cooked up in your brain that if you had the means or the capability of doing so, you would want to make into a product? Okay, well, if the answer was yes, tell me about it in the comments. Tell me about it. I definitely won't steal your idea. Okay. Next one is relationship related, like romantic relationship. Would you let your partner look through your phone? Are you the type that gives your partner your password and stuff like that? Or do you have a strict no phone snooping policy? Okay. Now, it typically is probably going to be the same answer, but have you ever snooped through your partner's phone, regardless of what the typical policy is? Have you ever done it? Or a partner's phone? In the past. Okay. I live by the rule, I don't know. I think if you're looking for something, you're gonna find it. If you're trying to hurt your own feelings, which I understand the temptation, if you're trying to hurt your own feelings, you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna be able to find something. So just leave it. Okay. Next, have you ever used a dating app? This is for 18 plus. Have you ever used a dating app? And if so, what is your preferred dating app? Tinder, Hinge, Bumble. I don't really know much about the dating apps. I always forget. Okay. Next, does height matter to you in attractiveness? Okay. How do you like your eggs? What's your favorite way to have your eggs cooked? Sunny side up, over easy, maybe scramble. Okay. Interesting. Okay. What is a food that you always have them take off of, like a pizza or a salad or something? If you always say hold the blank at a restaurant, what would it be? I'm usually not like a big fan of onions, but sometimes they're permissible. However, something I really do not rock with: mushrooms. I know I'm such a baby, but I really don't like mushrooms. It's the texture. Something about it. Gross. Now, do you go by your name, your birth name, or do you go by a nickname on a regular basis? And the second half of this question, are you happy with that, or do you wish you could change it? Which I guess you can change it, but sometimes it feels like it's too late. You don't want to start telling people that you've known for ages to start calling you by something different. Okay, interesting. Do you feel like you are culturally well-versed? Culturally educated? Okay. Alright. Do you think that in your mind, you spend more time in the past, the present, or the future? Do you spend more time thinking about the past or future? I think for me, I think I'm mostly thinking about the future, or maybe the present. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm a past dweller in general, and I feel like I am thinking ahead a lot, but I don't know. Okay. This is an interesting one. Okay. On a scale from completely heterosexual to completely homosexual, where do you kind of fall on that scale? I think there's a name for that, the whole sexual identity scale. I'll have to look it up and maybe put it on screen, but whereabout do you think you fall? Okay, and it's gonna seem like this is a follow-up question, but I'm not necessarily asking this related to your sexuality, but do you feel like you understand yourself? Do you know yourself and understand your feelings and why you feel them, or not really? Are you kind of an enigma even to yourself? Tell me, what is an irrational thing that irritates you? Something that you find so grating or irritating that you know you really shouldn't. Would you consider yourself a gossip? Are you a little bit of a gossip? Do you like to talk shit? Do you like to talk smack on people? Or at least you find yourself doing it? Or are you pretty tight-lipped? Sealed lips? I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay. And related question, kind of, sorta, would you consider yourself a hater? Are you kind of judgy? I don't think it's inherently wrong to be a gossip or be judgmental, but I think it can have negative ramifications for your mental well-being and maybe your relationships. So it just depends on how what you do about it, you know. Oh, this is kind of a funny one. Do you like being around old people, or do they make you a little uncomfortable? And same with kids, little kids. Do you like being around kids and or old people, or are you one of those people that's like, I feel a little uneasy, This sounds mean, like a really mean question, but let's be real for a second. Let's be real. This is a experience a lot of people share. No. We are really bouncing around in subject matter here. Do you organize your apps, your applications on your phone into folders, or do you just let them stay scattered around your home screen? Okay. What is, or who is, someone who is canceled or like extremely unpopular that you still like, or that you still follow or keep up with? It can be like an online like influencer. It can be I don't know, like a musician, and you still follow all their music and stuff. Okay. Celebrity crushes. All right. I want you to name two, and there will be a second half to this question, but first I'll give you some time to think of 2 celebrity crushes you have. 1, 2. Okay. All right. Now, do you have them in mind? Cool. Now, between the 2 of them, if you had to marry one and finagle with the other, who would get what? Who would get sorted into what role? Interesting. Okay. What is your favorite day of the week? Kind of a weird one, yeah. I know most people don't, off the top of their heads, just have like a day of the week that they love. I mean, maybe like Friday. I feel like Friday or Saturday is probably the default option, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have known that. Maybe not the most interesting question. Okay. What is your favorite month? Month of the year. What is your favorite month of the year? Okay. I think mine is October. October. Or maybe November. Definitely autumn. Definitely gotta be an autumn month. Where I live, September still stays pretty warm. Hot outside, and I am not a fan of hot weather. No. Here's a hypothetical one. If you could have a housekeeper, a personal chef, a personal trainer, or I guess like if you have kids, then maybe a nanny. Which one would you choose? I would choose a housekeeper, for sure. I almost threw in a personal assistant as a choice, but I feel like that's so like general. You could really make them do all sorts of things. So I'm keeping it to the more hyper specific. How bad, like how messy would you say your digital footprint is? Or are you pretty clean? There's really nothing of you or about you online. Interesting. Okay. And this one I didn't even write down, but I'm coming up with it right now. Do you ever Google your name? I feel like everyone does that, right? Or everyone has done that. Google their name just to see what pops up. Do you think you would enjoy being famous? Okay. If you were famous for anything, what do you think it would be? And related to those questions, if someone were to write a book about your life, now mind you, this writer is skilled, they can make things more engaging. But if someone were to write a book about your life, do you think it would be interesting? Interesting read for people. Now, similar question. If you were to write a book about a specific aspect of your life, maybe a specific experience you had, maybe some specific conflict you had to overcome, if you had to pick one aspect of your life to write about, what would it be? Or would it be just a full biography / memoir, autobiography? You know what I mean? Interesting. And this next question, you guys, it's incredibly important. This is possibly the most crucial question I could possibly ask you. Are you or are you not subscribed to Somnial Sounds ASMR? Somnial Sounds ASMR. Why do I low-key feel guilty when I do that? I feel like I'm baiting you. But if you aren't subscribed to Somnial Sounds ASMR, why the hell not? Why the hell not? Another important question, did you or did you not watch this far? If you did, hi, leave a comment that says, include the word cheeseburger in your comment somehow. Or alternative, maybe say, this is the worst ASMR video I've ever seen. But don't do that if you're not willing to put up with people who haven't watched till the end. And they're like, if you don't like it, just scroll. Which, appreciate you guys out there defending me in my comment section, because those comments be pissing me off. And it's very cathartic to see other people come rushing to my defense. Love that about you guys. Besties. Okay, bookies. Thank you so much for watching. Please do consider leaving a comment, liking, subscribing. Especially if you watched this far. You've spent, I've been filming for a while, but I'm going to estimate this video is like 35 minutes long, 30 minutes long. You spent a good chunk of time with me here today, so why not just friggin' hit that subscribe button? Okay. All it takes, it's 100% free, and all it takes is just a little. Okay. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And if your week isn't wonderful, I hope at least one wonderful thing happens to you. Okay? I love you guys. Love you guys. And bye. See you next time. Here's one for the folks out there